Hello everybody. For those
Hello.
of you that do not know me, yes, hello. I'm gonna actually going to let you introduce yourself, but I just wanted to say hello to everybody that is going to be watching this video. My name is Antonio Sangio, and for those of you that don't know me, I do practice and teach introspective hypnosis, a technique that was created based on Aurelio Mejia's technique, one of my teachers. And you're seeing what you're seeing on the screen are people that actually took the introspective hypnosis class, either in a live format, right, live, or live online, right? So that's why you're gonna, as I let them introduce themselves, you're gonna find people from different parts of the world, which is, I think, is amazing. So first of all, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves, and then I'll explain the reason of this call. Why is it that we're getting a few people together? Because I'm going to be asking them a few questions. I'm going to put them on the spot for some time. So why don't we start with you, Rose? I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us, and again, your name and where you're located, your name, location, and when you took the class?
Yes, my name is Gülfidan and my middle name Rose. I'm from Turkey originally, but I live in New York City. And I took Antonio Introspective class in last April.
April, right?
Yes.
Online.
Online, live online. And I'm a QHT practitioner
Practitioner
also,
okay.
as well. And I loved it. I found him from Alba.
Okay.
And
I called him.
Yeah, I called him a couple times. I was working crazy, and but we made it up. You know, I was so happy to take the class.
I remember you were trying to fit your basic schedule to take the class. So thank you.
And I'm so happy I did
it. Thank you. So I'm gonna let everybody else, and then I'm gonna be asking questions because I want to know, and I want everybody to know what your experience was during the class and after the class. Okay. Thank you, Rose. So now, Colleen, your turn, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm Colleen Fisher from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I took the introspective hypnosis in April. And I was with Rose. We've been practicing together. And I found you, Antonio, online with Alba as well. Mm-hmm. And I really connected with the introspective hypnosis. And I've never done hypnosis before. So really connected with your method and everything like that. It's really good. So
awesome. Thank you. Perfect. So we have somebody with experience already, previous experience, QHST, and then now, Colleen, you didn't have any knowledge of hypnosis, right?
No.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Colleen. Alice, your turn, please.
Hello, I'm Alice. I started off with QHHT and followed down that line, and then I was finding like attachments and stuff on people, and I needed to study about that and to find out how to deal with that. And then, you know, following Alba, finding you, I did the online about a year ago, and it's really helped a lot, a heck of a lot. It's
awesome.
worth doing.
You took it in February last year, right?
Yes.
In the UK.
Yeah. And
awesome. Great. Thank you, Alice. So now, Nzinga or John.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Antonio, for having me on this venue.
Thank you for joining us today.
I am Joan Stovall. I go by Nzinga. Everybody knows me by Nzinga. I am a metaphysician, but I'm also a QHHT practitioner and now introspective hypnosis. I love it. It's been a wonderful journey, and I am in Atlanta, Georgia now. And it's been a great journey. I'm just ready to do more, to really expand myself. So waiting for the questions.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to ask you a few questions about that.
Your upcoming event in Asheville.
Are you coming to Asheville?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah, we just have a few spots left, really.
Okay, better get on.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Thank you, Nzinga. Thank you. Thank you. Shahira, your turn, please. Oh, wait. You need to unmute your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right, good. My name is Shahira. I live in Cairo, Egypt. I took the class in April, and I had no experience in hypnosis whatsoever.
You didn't have any experience in hypnosis?
No, nothing, zero. So I've been practicing for the last 3 months.
Okay, good. Don't tell us anything else about your practice, because I'm gonna be asking questions about that. I want to know about everybody of what you experienced. All right. So you took it live. So you flew from Egypt just for the class, right? The
Yes,
class that I
yes,
talked
and
with Alba Wine, my friend, my sister Alba, right? And now you're practicing. So good. Let's have Teen and Tama introduce themselves, and then we'll get ready for the question. Thank you, Shahira. Thank you. Teen, your turn, please.
Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Teen, and I'm from Denmark, and I have a background in QHT, which I actually started like 6 months ago.
Mhm.
And then I stumbled upon IH, and I think that really gave me some tools to work on my clients.
Okay, great. Thank you. From Denmark, live online class in April, right?
Yeah.
And I just
In May.
no IH, introspective hypnosis, right? That's what we have,
Yeah.
the abbreviation for us, IH.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Pamela.
Good morning. I'm also from Atlanta, Georgia, and I attended the class last January with Nzinga. And it was amazing. We realized that we actually lived in the exact same neighborhood.
Wow.
At the time. We could have walked to each other's houses, but she's moved further away from me since then. But that was just.
It's always on the move, right? No. Okay.
But I've been a breathwork coach for many years. And about 2 years ago, I became just infatuated with quantum mathematics, physics, and healing.
Mhm.
And I discovered Dolores Cannon. And then after that, I thought that might be my direction, but then I found Alba.
Mhm.
And then I really became obsessed with Alba. I watched so many of the videos. And then I was introduced to Antonio through that, watched your videos. And I had to come to the class because I just thought this is my calling. And I took the class, and I've started my practice and love it.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Awesome. Good. So, Pamela, I'm going to mute your microphone. And now I want to start asking some questions. So this is the reason why we're doing this. As I was explaining to you guys before we started recording, a lot of times I get emails from people interested in taking the class, and they start asking questions like, what am I going to be able to do after the class? Am I going to have all the knowledge that is required? And I'm going to be able to facilitate my own sessions. What else? What other questions do I get? Are you sure that in 3 days, if it's the online class, right? In 3 days, I'm going to get all the information that I need. How am I, how can I get practice clients? So they have all these questions, and it's true. If you're going to make that investment, I will be asking the same questions. So I can tell them exactly what they can expect, but what I want everybody is to get that from you guys. So just so everybody can understand this and they know this, I have a set of questions. You don't know anything about what I'm going to ask, right? You don't know those questions. There's nothing prepared. So what I want you guys to do is to be totally honest. If you find something challenging, you let us know. And if you find something easy, you let us know. I want everybody to get the true idea what introspective hypnosis is and what's the process, that you experience during the class and after the class and then through your clients and maybe feedback that you get from the clients. So I'm going to start by asking questions. Is that okay? Awesome. Thank you. So the first question is, how do you find about the class? But I think all of you responded to that, right? Most of you came through either Dolores Cannon, directed to my website, or mostly from Alba's, right? Alba's website, right? So that's how you find about my class. And again, so that people remember this, raise your hands, the ones that had previous experience in hypnosis, previous knowledge, hypnosis knowledge. You, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4. Okay, great. Let me see. So here's the first question. What motivated you to learn introspective hypnosis? What motivated you to learn introspective hypnosis? Tim, you're the first one. Go ahead, please.
I kind of have been doing this on my own before even knowing about Dolores Cannon. I thought I was putting people into meditation and removing blockages and stuff like that, but I needed more knowledge. And then I stumbled upon Alba and her videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, oh, there's some tool there that I can use for what I already do. For instance, the trance, be able to put people down into trance where you can work more in depth with them.
Okay.
That really helps me doing what I do.
Okay. Now, when you were taken into meditation, it's kind of a light trance, right? But you were already practicing QHST, right?
Yeah, but only since like February.
Right. So
this year.
So you were already putting people in a trance, right? So what would you say is different than the trance in introspective hypnosis? That's what I'm trying to understand.
The trance here is that I have so many more options in how to help my client get into a trance. With QHHT, I only have one option. That's it.
And
here I have her.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So we're not talking bad about any technique. I'm just asking questions, right? And we're not talking about. I'm really grateful to Dolores Cannon. I was able to train with her in person, and I'm a QHST practitioner, level 1, level 2. I took my level 2 class when, actually months before she passed away. So we're not talking bad about that technique. I just wanted to understand when you were saying, I wanted to take people into a trance, but you already said that you were practicing QHHT. So you were already putting people into a trance. What you're saying is that you have more options, like more inductions? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, more options of how to induce people.
Understood.
Induce my clients. And no, I'm not talking bad about QHHT.
No,
I really think that has been my doorway into this.
Absolutely.
And I'm really grateful to be able to have that knowledge with me as well, because all of the stuff that Dolores have researched and have done, that's major work.
Right, and that's how I started in hypnosis, and that's, I would say, I learned the right way of navigating past lives thanks to her. So yeah, I'm really grateful to that. We're just talking about, I just wanted to get more information about what you said, right? Because you were already putting people into a trance. So just for the record, we're not talking bad about any technique, okay? Any other technique. Thank you, team. Anybody else? Nzinga, and then it's going to be Rose. You need to unmute your microphone, please.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes, I wanted to just interject myself and say that as a starting out as well with Dolores Cannon's teachings, QHHT, that was very interesting. It was a wonderful experience. I was in Hawaii with Julia Cannon. I did get to experience that level 1. And I stepped away with the knowledge on how to induce and put a client under, and how to navigate past life regression. You know, so I would do past life regression on a lot of my clients. The difference, though, once I was introduced to introspective hypnosis through Alba as well, and you as well, I learned that one, there are so many different modalities, and it was just not to, no pun against QHHT. I love that. I still practice that as well on clients, but offer a wonderful way to induce clients. It's just, there are a variety of ways that you can place a client under in theta so that you can go, and then the navigation process, being able to navigate one through past life regressions as well, and then to do healing work, you know, to go in and remove certain entities or attachments and to work with that aspect of introspective hypnosis, having that to utilize as well through the work. Being able to just really guide your clients through certain traumas and certain incidences that may have happened. So it's just like a cumulative of all of these wonderful things that you can actually do while they're induced to help them gain more clarity.
Okay.
Session. So it's a wonderful one. I love the introspective hypnosis because there's so many ways to go in and retrieve.
Okay. Yeah. Very flexible. Will you say flexible?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when we say actually remove attachments, we're not removing them, we're inviting them to go to the light. Basically,
right.
That's what we're doing, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you, Thinka. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Rose, you're next. Oh, I'm sorry. Rose and then Pamela, okay? Rose, Gulfidan, Rose, I know you by Rose already. I'm used to it.
Hi again. My hypnosis, how I started, it's kind of weird because I grew up in Turkey, and then when you say about hypnosis, oh my God, I'm not gonna wake up, or what's gonna happen to me? You know, that kind of wrong belief system.
Yeah, okay.
If you're like 15 years ago, if they told me, let's go do hypnosis on you, I was like, oh no, I'm scared. Kind of, right?
What if I don't wake up, right?
Yes, and it's so wrong ideas in most people, in Turkish people, because I started doing with lots of Turkish people, translated to my language. When I see QHHT, you're going only the past lives, and sometimes I had a problem with talking with the higher self, finding, let them find their higher self. They weren't coming. And I was like, I need this. I need something more. I need help more way. And see how I found Antonio from all the way. I guess my higher self took me to you guys. Okay. And I'm very happy and helping lots of people. And it's helping me too, to grow and
that happens.
Connect more.
Okay, good. Thank you, Rose. Right, and so whenever we say we were not able to contact the higher self is always there because the higher self is a part of us. It's us giving advice to ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. So what happened is that some clients have the wrong idea of what the higher self is, and they think is not taking.
Definitely.
So that's the challenging part. But again, QHHT is great. They made it very, very simple to learn, to follow the steps. I practice it. I still get QHHT sessions. So it's great. But again, that was your motivation. You felt you wanted something else, and that's why you joined.
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Pamela, your turn, please. Let me unmute your microphone. There you go.
Thank you. Okay. For me, I was drawn to it because I think it's like an extension of the breath work that I've done, and I'm able to get my clients, by being able to put them into a deeper trance, I'm able to help them faster to get to the origin of the problems, or there's a lot of forgiveness work that is done in breath work, and so it's a great way to find the origin. And it might not be just this life, it could be a past life, and that didn't come up as much in breath work.
I see. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Pamela. So thank you for your answers. Okay, so people start getting the idea of what motivates people to take this type of class and learn this type of technique. Let's go with the next question. What part of the course did you find most useful? What was the most useful part for you? Alice.
I enjoyed you going into the history of it, because we didn't, it was good to go into the history of hypnosis, all the different levels and stuff. I feel like we got that a bit more from your class.
Okay.
And the flexibility of it, like doing clinical hypnotherapy, they always push you to go scriptless. And like your technique is perfect for that, like to teach us how to go scriptless and to use our, you know, our knowledge that we have in the toolbox. That, yeah, it was good.
I see. Because Alice, you are a clinical hypnotherapist as well, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying that is the clinical hypnosis pushes you to not to use script or to use scripts?
To not use it.
To not use it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, that is, I mean.
To each client then as well as to what their senses are, and that's really important, especially in induction. And yeah, I find.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Alice. So let me explain so people can understand about this. What I encourage people to do when they practice introspective hypnosis is not to read scripts. When you read a script, meaning an induction, you make it rigid. When you make it rigid, it might not work all the time. The idea is not that you memorize every single word in an induction. You memorize the steps and then you use your own words. But why is this important? Because you need to get whatever your client is giving you. If your client is, I don't know, it's blinking or smiling or whatever as you're doing the induction, you actually need to use that as part of the deepness. So besides, when you read, it can sound kind of robotic, and some clients don't like that. I remember clients sometimes, I got feedback from clients saying, oh, I went to such and such person, and can you believe they were reading to me? That is why clients know when you're reading. That's what I'm trying to say. Your clients know when you're reading. So, okay, thank you, Alice. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, good. So let me continue with the next question. Was the class more difficult or easier than what you expected? Right, because you jump into this class, you don't know what you're going to get, because I don't disclose any of the content of the class in my website on purpose. Some people contact me and say, Antonio, I want you to tell me step by step what is it that I'm going to learn. And I tell them, you're going to learn introspective hypnosis. That's it. I don't need to go step by step. All right. So let me start with Tim, and it's going to be Shahira and then Colleen. Okay. So Tim, go ahead, please.
I think it's really easy to follow. The way I've been working, I've been fully booked with clients since then. And the way I've been working is taking it step by step.
Okay.
And learning a part of the stuff, and then moving on to something else, and then moving on to something else. So I'm not yet incorporated all of the stuff I learned on the course, but I'm still able to work. I'm still able to work with clients and still able to help them. But I can tell, okay, this client, I might have benefited from this technique. Okay, I'm going to study more about this technique. So I think it's easy, and it's easy to go out and use it afterwards.
Good. So thank you for mentioning that. So I'm going to piggyback on that. So number one, let me see, because my mind just went blank. Some people say, Antonio, do you have level 1, 2, or 3? Number one, I do not believe in levels. All the information that you need to practice introspective hypnosis is there. I give it to you. I give you a manual. You attend to the class, and then you have access to the recording of the class for some time, right? And then people say, would I be able to facilitate sessions as soon as I finish the class? You kind of answer to that one as well, Tim, because it takes time. You can take a class to the best hypnotherapist or hypnotist in the world. It doesn't matter. You will not be able to accomplish anything until you start practicing. And when you start practicing is when you start making mistakes. And when you make mistakes, you correct them, and you don't make that mistake again. You make a new one, and then you correct it. You don't make it again, you make a new one. And by making mistakes, and this technique is very forgiving, actually, you keep evolving, you keep growing. And as you said, You don't need to have all the techniques at one time. You can use one or two specific techniques to help your client and still facilitate session. And it takes time. You took your class in April, we're in July, right? So you're doing it. And that's being totally honest. If I say to you, after you finish the class, you're going to be an expert, I will be lying to you. Anybody that will tell you after taking a hypnosis class, you're going to be an expert is not true, because you need to practice. You need to put it in practice. You need to find your hypnotic voice. That takes some time. Hypnotic voice. We're not going to use the same voice we're using now to facilitate sessions. So, okay. Thank you, team. Thank you. Shahira, your turn, please.
Well, I came to the class with no expectation, actually. So I was not thinking of it's going to be easy or difficult. But I was really impressed of how gradually you took all the information and presented every day. Like, you give a piece of information building up on the part that we had yesterday, or we had in the morning, or we had the whole week. So I would say that we had a lot of information, but I didn't have a difficulty in absorbing everything, because it was very well organized, and it was very, very well presented in a nice build-up. Also, the timing was very satisfying for me. It was not rushed, and it was not slowed down, so we got bored. So from my perspective, I was kept busy all week, and I was practicing learning in every minute. And at the same time, I was not challenged in a bad way.
Okay.
So I've been practicing for 3 months now. I think my whole time of practice, it's like 2 months and a half. And I did, I think, over 30 sessions, I would say 31 sessions.
Wow.
Like, all the challenges I had within the sessions, I always go back to the material and then I find an answer. So that was very comforting, that you offered everything.
Right. So thank you, Shira, because as I was mentioning before we started recording, and I was encouraging everybody to say the truth. If it was challenging, you say it. If you didn't like it, you say it. If you like it, you say it. You know, it's going to help everybody, and it's going to help me. So you took the 5-day class. The difference with the 5-day class is that you have more time for practice. The material is the same. Manual is the same. Watch the same videos. And I still demonstrate the same inductions. Is that you have more practice. You have more time to practice during the class, and if you make friends, which normally happens in a live class, you practice after class, right? And some people learn how to channel, believe it or not. That's Shahira. She started channeling. So anyway, you went through that process, and you were able to get all that information. What I proud myself and Alba as well of doing in a class is that we share our experience. It's not just about the material. Hey, this is hypnosis. This is step 1, 2, 3, whatever. You know, when the client does this, you do that, and when the client does this other thing, you do this other thing. Is that we give you the do's and don'ts. These are the mistakes I make. This is what I went through. I tried this, and this is what happened. You're gonna face this situation. So that is what I think is the added value, and that's what I like sharing during the class. The struggle that I went through as I was learning hypnosis, because I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made. If you're gonna make mistakes, make new ones, right? So it's gonna save you time. And that's what what you're saying, Shahir. So I appreciate that feedback. Okay, thank you, Shahir. Then it was, unless you want to add something else, do you want me to mute your microphone?
Well, I would like to add something, actually.
Okay.
I think one of the very nice things that happened in the class, that you gave us room to think and to add our own part of it. It was not like a rigid, structured kind of, not even script or a technique. It was like there is room for our own soul to come in and add whatever we want. And because you gave me this encouragement, this is what I do now. I just explore in a way that I think that goes with the technique that we learn. At the same time, it has part of me in the process. So so that was good for me. It works for me to give some kind of, you know, a room for that.
Perfect. Thank you. And happy that you mentioned that. Introspective hypnosis has a structure, but the structure is not a formula, right? So you cannot make everybody to facilitate sessions the same way. You cannot make everybody to have the same tone of voice. You cannot have everybody have the same results. Actually, when people come to you, or when people are going to be sent to you, is because of your own style, right? There's a basic structure that an introspective hypnosis should respect, especially when it comes to working with memories. And I think because we have an introspective hypnosis group, a Facebook group, and when we share information, there's just, there's a specific things that we need to do when navigating memory or when we work with spirit attachments, right? But other than that, you'll be able to put your own ingredients, your own style, and that's actually what's going to make your practice unique. I cannot expect everybody to be the same way, you know. So thank you again, Shahira. Thank you for sharing that. Good. And it was Colleen was next, right? Okay. Good.
I had no background in introspective hypnosis or any kind of hypnosis,
Okay.
but I teach meditations and things like that. But I found all the material you had and all the videos really, really helped me because I learned by watching and listening, and I had all the tools there. So after the class, I found it very easy to go and practice. And I found another person from the class, Rose, and we would practice together. And that really, really helped me. So I had someone to talk to and things like that. But I found it was really easy to jump into and get started. I just think people should not wait. Just because if you put it aside, I don't think people are going to use it or whatever. But I find I still read the script a little bit, but now I'm getting away from it and things like that. And my hypnotic voice, a little different, because I do meditations and stuff. So I'm, I have to find my hypnotic voice a little bit more. But overall, like I found the class very, very informative, very structured, and structured in a way that I could learn, and things like that. And because it was online, it was really, really good because I couldn't fly off anywhere to be anywhere, anything like that. So I just found that wonderful. But, having all the courses that we can access, all the videos, and I really love it.
Right. Thank you, Colleen. Yeah, what happened is that the online class is live. I'm live teaching the class, but I'm recording the class, and you get access to that recording.
Yeah.
And that's how you can go back and check. To be honest with you, when I created the online class, I did it with the intention of people not having to come to Charlotte just for a weekend. I was teaching on weekends. I never thought about people connecting from different countries. When I started getting people from Canada and then from the UK, and I said, "What is this?" And then I saw what the universe was doing, and we had people connecting from Denmark and from India, from Nigeria. It was like, oh my God! So what's happening is that now people that took the class are facilitating session in their own language. So you have it with Tim doing it in Danish, and then you have it with Rose doing it in Turkish, and so it's amazing. So what's going to happen as well is that you will need to adjust the technique a little bit to your culture, right? It's not only about the language. It's going to be your culture and find the specific words to say, because one word might mean something in English and it might not work the same way in Turkish or in Danish. So, okay, so that was good. That's what is happening, right? And that's why you see people connected from different countries. And some of them, like Shahira, decide to fly all the way to Charlotte to take the live class. And it's great, it's great. Good. Thank you, Colin. Do you want to add anything else?
I'm just very grateful that you taught this online so I could have access to it because I love it. And I know it's going to help a lot of people. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to mute your microphone. So let's go for the next question. it's kind of the same thing, right? Do you think this course gave you enough knowledge in order to start facilitating your own sessions? You kind of, Tim, you can already answer that. Does anybody want to add more? And again, the question is, do you think this course gave you enough knowledge in order to start facilitating your own sessions? Pamela, yes, please. I'm going to unmute your microphone. There you go.
Well, for me, I was really surprised how confident I felt even in my very first session. It went very smoothly. I didn't use a script. I had just made like a kind of a bullet point outline in case I got lost or something like that. I was much more nervous and concerned about like the equipment and the technology of it.
Mm-hmm.
If I
to record the session, right?
Record the session. Mm-hmm. If I would say anything could be added to the course, might be some more about that.
Oh, yeah, okay. People. You know what? My wife has been asking me to do the same thing. Antonio, you should be sharing more information about the technology part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I was already overwhelming you with all the information I was giving you. But yeah, I mean, why not? Give more about technology. Awesome.
For me, that would have been very helpful. But I figured it out. Everything's set up now. But I was nervous about that and trying to get it all to work at the same time and just do it right for people. But the sessions went great, and I just felt so natural, and just the experience of watching your videos and taking the class and practicing with others. It went very smooth.
Awesome, perfect. Thank you, Pamela. Anybody else before we jump to the next question? Okay, you want to say something, Rose? You need to unmute. Okay, I unmuted your microphone now. Okay.
Okay. For me, the online class, I was thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to connect it that much to understand, because my understanding, I speak different languages. I sometimes, think like my Turkish way, and I need to listen carefully and connect it. But online class for me, it was so easy steps to follow. And I found out whenever I had a problem, I go back to same recordings. I said, oh yes, I could see, I didn't hear that well that time. And then I can go back to view again to understanding my line.
Okay.
Finding lots of things easy. And then now I know my hypnotic voice, and I know, and I can use the different people, different system. I mean,
it's like different inductions, right?
Inductions. And I guess when you do more practice and then learning out all the differences, you're finding your own, you set on very easy, very beautiful.
Okay. Thank you, Rose. So what happened is that when I want to say teach inductions, right? I divided them in levels, even though I don't believe in levels. But we start with very easy ones that after you finish the class, you can start using the level 1 inductions, or two of them, and they work. And the proof that they work is because you have videos on my YouTube channel when you see I'm using that induction. And those sessions were great. People went deep in a trance with those inductions. So yeah, you can start. My honest opinion is that you can start facilitating sessions after the class if you don't wait. Some people want to wait until they feel they're ready. You will never feel you're ready. Have any of you felt you're ready? and Zinga, hold on, I'm going to unmute your microphone. Go ahead, please. Oh, wait. It's not allowing me to unmute. Can you try to unmute your microphone?
There we go.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You're absolutely right. I wanted to add that because I wanted to say, for me, the course going live in Charlotte with you and Alba was absolutely wonderful from beginning to end, because you do offer the origins of hypnosis. You offer all of the boundaries and the ethics. You teach that part. Then you go, it's a smooth transition into the techniques. Then we do the live, inductions where you get to see it hands-on, and then you get to participate in it. And you leave with such a wonderful built up confidence that this is easy. I can do this. I know I can maintain this. And there's so much. It's not like it's an overwhelming amount of information because it really is a solid foundation. It's kind of steps that, or just sort of an outlined process. And that's the easy part. And even finding your voice after a while, I found mine through telling stories to my grandchildren. Once upon a time, so
Okay,
that's
it's a
how
good
I
practice.
found my hypnosis voice. But I wanted to say that if you don't utilize it, if you don't just go right in, it's that level of fear. It's that, am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be able to induce someone? Am I going to sound foolish, or are they really going to get what they need? For me, the navigation part is easy because it's been a long journey for me on a spiritual level. So to navigate, I kind of know the language a little bit. But for those who are not really conscious of that or quite aware of how to get them in a position where you can ask the right questions, that could be a little challenging. But I say to those that are not feeling as confident to watch your videos. Anybody, even without almost taking a course, can watch your videos, and they get to know, they get to use over and over to hear your language, how to navigate, where to go to, how to do the healing for forgiveness. So it's just, if you sit and you really have to invest in your practice yourself, and watching not that you show the techniques, but just your videos alone. That helped me when I first started seeing Alba and yourself, and I watched your videos. I was like, oh, okay. Day after day, just listening, all to the questions that you ask, just sort of when to sort of go in and when to kind of ease back and allow for the client to take on their role. So it's those things, but you have to jump in.
Yeah.
You have to jump in. Yeah, so for me, that was the biggest part. I left like, yes. And then I was like, oh, I don't know. But now it's sort of like, now I just go for
it's
it.
a normal feeling. When I started, didn't feel ready. But one thing I learned to do at a very early stage is to overcome any fears, and be able to try different things. If you're going to practice hypnosis, you need to dare to put somebody in a trance. You need to dare to do an induction or navigate a session, or speak in front of a lot of people talking about hypnosis, or do a group regression. You need to overcome all those fears. And don't think about it, just do it, because you will never feel you're ready. You will never feel you're ready.
Right.
Yes. So thank you, Nzinga. Thank you.
Thank you.
You were saying something there, and I wanted to add something to it, and I forgot already, but I know it's gonna come back. So great. Anybody else? Let me see. Anybody else want to say about that? I guess you all went through the same thing, right? What's kind of weird at the beginning. Oh yeah, I remember what I wanted to say. So when you start learning, I'm going to talk about introspective hypnosis now only, right? When you start learning introspective hypnosis, you're going to first be focusing on your induction. Even if you don't think about it, you're gonna watch your client, and is my client in a trance or not? Is my client deep enough or not? So you're gonna be focusing on that, and then you're gonna miss other things taking place in the session because your focus is on the induction. Number one. Number two, then once you master your induction, you automatically are gonna be focusing on the questions that you're gonna be asking during the session. Am I asking the right questions? Am I doing the right thing? Right? So your focus is on that. And then once you feel comfortable, once that comes to you second nature, then you're gonna start picking up on different things that are taking place in a session. You're gonna pick up on signs, because as Michael Newton said, the best hypnotherapist for your client is not you, is your client's spirit guide. Open up, channel, you will get all the information that you need, you will get signs, so you're gonna pick up a lot of more details during the session after you overcome your first fear and being worried about the induction. Am I client in a trance or not? Am I asking the right questions? Once you overcome all that, you're gonna start picking up on things that happen in the session that's actually going to change change your style completely. So, Tim, yeah, you wanted to add something.
No, just a little note on that, because I feel like when I let go of that fear, I always know what to
Exactly.
ask. I always know how to navigate the client around. Also, when things don't go as I think they are supposed to go, because you can have an idea about how the session will go, but then
It's
the
not about us.
client, it just goes like that, and then you have to just listen and ask the right questions, and then that's you need to feel to follow your stomach and feel that sensation or feeling there.
Right. There's no way you can prepare for a session because you don't know what's going to happen. Because you are not in control. It's your client's subconscious mind, the one that is going to navigate the session. Not even your client knows what's going to happen. They might have an idea, but they don't know. And I think that here are a couple of
one of my clients had suddenly the stuff that we were doing were interrupted, and an attachment came through.
Okay.
Then I had to handle that before we could go any further.
Okay, you see, so there's no way you can prepare for your session, right? So some people, I had some friends that I know practice other techniques. It's like, oh, tomorrow I have a session that has been diagnosed with this and this condition, and the night before of the session they study about that condition, and that is not what I teach in introspective hypnosis. That's a label that was put on that client. If somebody was diagnosed as bipolar or schizophrenic, that's a label, right? That symptom, the origin of that symptom could be something else. Could be an attachment, could be something you don't know. So what I'm trying to say is that during the session, we need to learn how just to let go, open up, because we don't work by ourselves. I've been told this many times in a session, through my clients, in a trance, those clients that do not remember anything after the session, which is only 3% of the population that go to the somnambulistic trance. And so at least you have your spirit guide and your client's spirit guide working with you. You know, just open up and listen. You're gonna get, sometimes I ask questions, and even though I will say, I don't know where that question came from, I know where it came from, right? But that's exactly the question I needed to ask. So, okay, awesome. Thank you, T. Thank you. So let's go with the next question. How soon after the class were you able to start facilitating sessions? How soon? Shira. Okay.
The very next day after I came from Charlotte.
Okay. Okay.
I was jet lagged, but I had so many friends who were lining up for me to come back and say and do the session. So I had a very full week. Like,
Okay.
I think I facilitated like 5 sessions within the first week, and
Okay.
they were all amazing. All this, like, you know, firework sessions that people go all over the place, and until I came one of the sessions that was very challenging, and I had to go back to the material, and I found something very significant that you said in the course, which is, it's not about you. And
What about us? Yeah.
Because it's all, I want my client to have an amazing experience, and I'm like, you know, when they go all these past lives and go to this galactic federation thing and do all these amazing things and amazing healing, I get so excited, but it's not about my excitement.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
some people have to clear the house before having a party.
Right.
And
Right.
some of them, they just have to learn how to heal over an ex-boyfriend or a friend or somebody at work that they gave them hard time yesterday.
Okay.
So it's not all about, you know, the great things, the great places that they go to. So when I came back and I'm like, okay, it's not about me. It's not about my excitement. It's not about, I should not be judging the experience. Antonio said that. So
Right.
that was a shift in perspective.
Thank you. Yeah. Because what we do, we need to leave the ego aside. This is not about us. This is not about making our clients have a great experience, because it doesn't depend on us. Some people come for sessions thinking they're going to have like a spiritual awakening experience, and that doesn't happen. They go back to a memory that is in their subconscious mind, right? They consciously did not have access to it, but they needed to work on that memory. That's the reason why they came. That's the reason why they were sent. And even though they like it or not, that's what needed to take place. Once your client is out of the door, that's it. It's not about you. That's their responsibility. When they leave your place, they have homework they need to do. Some people say, I want to be healed about this. I want you to heal me. I don't heal anybody. I'm going to facilitate this session for you. I'm going to guide you in your process. And what you get during the session is going to allow you to heal yourself, right? If you decide to make the change, right? It's like somebody saying, oh, Antonio, I want to quit smoking, or at least smoke a little bit less. So then you don't want to quit smoking, right? It depends on them. So, okay, Shahira, thank you. Thank you. You want to say something else? No?
No, but
No? Good. Thank you. I'm going
oh,
to mute your microphone. Alice, you wanted to say something? Oh, your microphone.
What was the question again?
The question is, how soon after you finish the
Oh,
class you were
yeah,
able to?
straight away that following week, yeah, I started practicing on people, and yeah, it works really well.
Okay.
And then I needed a bit of confidence to go online, because I wasn't used to going online. And I remember getting in touch with you, and you were really useful, and like you gave me the confidence to go online, so it was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, this works over Skype or Zoom, no problem. It's a little bit different, different feeling, but
Yeah,
you get to help people from all over the world, which is
yeah,
great.
definitely.
Good. Thank you, Alice. Thank you. Let me mute your microphone. This is an interesting question. Was it easy for you guys to find volunteers? So for Shahira, you know that no problem. And for some of you, I'm gonna kind of already give you this answer. Maybe you were in class and you were on Facebook sharing with your friends, I'm learning this technique, and then your friend said, oh, I want to practice with you. I want to practice. So you were already getting candidates, volunteers, right? But was it easy for you to get volunteers? Because when I learned hypnosis, it was not easy for me. I had to travel to a different city to get volunteers. Yeah, I'm sorry. Who was gonna go next? All right, let's see. Hold on. Tim?
Yeah, for me, I actually have a business page on Facebook, and I've been going through that and I've been promoting myself, doing videos where I tell about my sessions. I started out with a few friends, and then quickly it became people I don't know that
Friends,
responded because they have heard from my friends,
friends
and because yeah, and also people that I have no relations to at all, because they saw my videos. I have done short videos on my sessions, what I'm doing with my sessions, and what I've experienced with clients, and sharing that.
mm-hmm.
And that has really helped get people interested and wanting to get sessions with me.
Awesome. Thank you. Who was Rose? You wanted to say something, right? No, hold on. Let me unmute your microphone. You need to unmute your microphone.
For me, when I did the QHHT, it was so hard to travel because I have very short time. I'm working also, and I couldn't travel, and it was.
You're a nurse, right?
Kind of. Now I do only Alzheimer's.
Okay.
All right. I don't do work in the hospitals anymore.
Okay.
And private patients only. And it was so hard for me to go to my client or hotel. It's, because you need to go there the day before or in the morning. It was very hard. But now I start doing online.
It works.
It works perfect. And I am getting so many different countries. Yeah, some of them, they call me, but we don't speak same language. Even happens.
Okay.
But also I wanted to say, talking with the other people, like I go to dentist, I then say, oh, I do this. What is that? I'm explain. I talk a lot with lots of I connect with the people. Hair salon, I tell, and the other lady hears that. I get my clients from that kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
Just want to let you know.
Okay. Word of
Find
mouth.
other friends.
Good. Good. Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes people are not ready to learn that what you practice, and they're gonna think you're crazy. What is that? Past lives, spirit attachments, you know. And I had to be explaining over and over. And sometimes be careful to who I'm talking to, you know. But then you go to a point where you say, okay, this is who I am. This is what I do, and I'll be doing for the rest of my life. And I tell people, I don't know if I should believe or not. Just go to my website, watch these videos. There's gotta be something. Have people from different cultures, different languages, in English and Spanish, different ages, experiencing the same thing. There's gotta be something to it. You judge. You know? So good. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Colleen, your turn. You need to unmute your microphone.
I don't have any problems finding people who want to volunteer for this for me to practice on. I have a big following on Facebook because I have another business, and I connect with people all over the world. So it's really easy. It's a lot easier when you can connect with them over Zoom. I have Zoom myself, and I'm able to edit videos and things like that. And so I have a lot of people volunteering right now so I can practice, and then later on I'll get into doing them professionally. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Understood. Thank you. Yeah. So, and this is what I tell everybody, quantumhealers.com. Quantumhealers.com is owned by Candace Grohl-Goldman. She used to work with Dolores Cannon. Actually, when I took my QHHT class, she was assistant Dolores Cannon. And she has created this directory where you can list yourself. Introspective hypnosis is listed in the directory. If people want to find a practitioner that is offering practice session, you can find them there. If you want to get volunteers, you register there. It's if I'm not mistaken, $10 a month, and it includes the directory and the forum. And that's another way to get practice sessions. So if you really put your mind into this, you can get people from all over. If you want to do it over Skype, if you overcome that initial fear, you can do this online and get people from all over the world. You know?
Yeah, I really like that because you can access a lot of people that way, and even people in my area, they like to do it on the computer and be in their own home, and I find it very easy that way. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
It really works for me. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. So I know we've been talking for some time. I still have a few questions. So I'm going to ask one question. I want just one volunteer, right, for one question. What was the easiest part of the class? What was the easiest thing for you to learn? Who can answer to that question? The easiest part of the class, what was it? When you said, okay, oh, this is easy. I can do this. Team? Yeah.
Actually, it was, even though I'm not fully into all of the induction methods yet, then the induction.
Okay.
Because the inductions they are the gateway for us to work with the clients. So the easy, the level 1 and level 2 inductions, I felt really secure about and really familiar with already the day after the course.
Okay.
And I started doing those already the next week. So that was what I felt was the easiest.
Okay, good. Thank you, Tim. Now, anybody else? What was the most challenging part? Well, what was what you said? It was like, oh my God, am I gonna be able to do this? Shahira, yeah.
I think the challenging part was more of an inside work than the actual information, like believing that I can do this.
Okay.
You give all the tools, but it's a matter of each individual to use them and to believe that it's going to work. So you give all the induction tools, but at the end of the day, every time I go in session, I'll be like, oh, is he in a trance? Is she gone already? Or it's always, this is the most challenging part for a while, until again, I remember something you said in the session, that you always assume that they are in a trance.
Right.
So I just go on with the session. And after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I learn that they are already there.
Right.
Even if they don't look like it, because people look different when they are in a trance.
Right. And so people can understand what Shahira is talking about is, even though there are some signs of trance and you can tell when people are in a trance, there's really no way to know 100%. And when I was studying hypnosis, I thought people were not in a trance, and I decided to stop the session. And to my surprise, that person didn't remember anything about what was taking place. So my advice is that even though your ego, that's your ego, right? Things like, my client is not in a trance, just pretend, assume they're in a trance, and keep working. Don't stop. I have clients yawning as I'm working with them, like I'm making gestures, like I don't want to be here, I'm tired. Come on, bring me out of this, right? It's like, and at the end of the session, they don't remember this, and it was a great session. One of those I invited for my Live Between Lives session, because now I practice that technique. I got certified by the Newton Institute. She had a great past life regression, so I invited her for a Live Between Lives session. And she was doing exactly the same thing, but I didn't pay attention because I knew that's how her body reacts, you know. And so just continue working. Try not to pay attention to that and continue working. That is always my advice. Thank you, Shahira. I'm going to mute your microphone. And oh, Pamela, you wanted to say something? Okay, go ahead, please.
I would say for me, I guess the most difficult part of the training, although it wasn't difficult, but because I'd seen so many of your videos and Alba's videos, I felt, I knew how to kind of manage a session, or how you guys manage a session, but I didn't know the induction, because you don't show that part. So learning the induction was, kind of what made the whole total piece for me. And also at the end, how to, help them detach as well. And then also where you brought up, like everything's not always perfect, and you showed like, mistakes that had happened and extreme situations, things like that. So, if those come up, I'll feel much more confident and comfortable with that.
Okay, great. Thank you, Pamela. So now this is for the ones that have been practicing hypnosis already. Whatever technique you were practicing already, you were getting a specific type of clients. After you learn introspective hypnosis, did you start getting a different type of clients, or you were getting the same type of clients? Do you notice any change in the type of clients you were getting, Tim? Yeah.
No, because before I had introspective hypnosis, I was actually getting the clients where I needed the tools.
Okay,
so
you got the clients first and the technique later.
Already in my second session with QHHT, a soul got stuck and I had to help him to the light.
I see.
But I had some of the tools already, so that's why I wasn't caught completely off guard. But I felt I needed some more tools. So
I see.
Here I am.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No, same clients.
Okay, thank you. Nzinga, yeah. And then Rose.
I tell you honestly, at first, with quantum healing, I navigated 1 or 2 sessions with, it was just a variety, it was diverse. But immediately after I left the class in Charlotte, I can tell you I had at least 5 or 6 clients that were contemplating suicide.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it started connecting, like, is this what I'm going to be getting? Because I remember in class, it's like you will get a certain group of people that will gravitate to you. But there were 2 people who reached out on Facebook. There were two people who were close friends of the family. There was another person who was, and they were all just like, can you help me? I'm really feeling, whatever it is, depression or
I see.
whatever it is that brings them to that point of suicide. But
I see.
that was a very heavy point for me, right out of introspective hypnosis.
That's the way it works. That's the type of clients that you will get. You can get clients for spiritual awakening, right? But with this technique, you get heavy stuff. People that have a lot of issues from, especially from childhood, because it is during childhood that all that stuff gets recorded in our subconscious mind, and later in life, those things, those associations, those internal maps start reflecting as physical symptoms, right? So okay. Thank you, Zinga. Thank you. You hold on. It was gonna be Rose and then Alice, right? Rose, did you? Well, yeah, you were practicing QHHT. You notice any change?
Oh yes, totally. Like I can tell you, universe started bringing me all the different
The people to you, right?
problem people in this life, not the past lives.
Okay.
And if you remember, I called you a couple times, let you know, oh my God, what I'm gonna do, because it was very, very different
Yeah.
problems to handle.
Mm-hmm.
And I always write Antonio or call him because it's difficult. Just you're not taking them the past lives and childhood dramas, all the what they had it in the early age. Give people so many different mentality in this
Right.
time. That's why it was very different clients I was getting.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Good.
why I wanted to share. It was
Okay.
crazy, different.
Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Alice, before we continue with the last question, let's see. Okay, two more questions and then we'll finish. Alice.
Yes, so immediately was kind of getting I was starting to get, in QHT sessions, getting spirit attachments on people, and I didn't really know what to do. But, I did it the best as I could, as I've seen Alba online, and then I looked at your course, and then, I knew more what to do with all of that aspect, which is not something, I knew about really beforehand. But yeah, like you get lots of lower vibration, issues that have been with them for a long time, and then this just helps get rid of all of that. And then the shadow work, I like to think of it as kind of a bit of shadow work, like shamanic shadow work. You kind of, it releases it, and the forgiveness in it is just phenomenal. Like you feel like you've done such a lot of good, like not just to one person, but to, countless souls.
The beauty of this is that we don't only help our clients, we help the spirit attached to them.
Yeah, it's massive, yeah.
Good. Thank you, Alice. Thank you. So let's go with maybe just a couple of maximum 2 volunteers, right? Because we're about the time now. Think of a session. The session that so far you say, I'm going to take this session with me in my heart for the rest of my life, right? And no names, not that much detail, but when you say, well, this happened and this is what my client experienced. The story, kind of what kind of session you got. Yes, Tim?
One where this was my first real attachment with voice change, change of face, change of gestures, everything changed, and my client didn't remember a thing whatsoever when she came out of it. So I had to warn her, and she was like, "Oh, did that happen? Oh." So that is one that I learned so much from that, so much from why I am doing this from that client, from that session, and that just gives me purpose.
Yeah. So you will have some sessions like when you finish a session, you're gonna be grateful for what we're doing, right? To your client, to the universe, for volunteering, for what we're doing now. You know, helping the spirits this way, incarnated and disembodied spirits as well. How do you feel? How do you feel the first time this? I mean, this was the first, as you call it, real attachment, because sometimes people think they have, and it's in their mind, it's imaginary, but it doesn't matter if they feel it's real for them, and that's it. We'll still work with it. But how do you feel as this attachment was communicating with you the first time and was changing the voice and the face?
I thought, holy cow. I've heard of stuff like this, and I believe it, but now I believe.
And I show you videos, so
yeah, but you when you sit with a person that from one moment to the next changes, and you can see the change in them, that's really not amazing. Well, yeah, it is, but it really
difficult to explain, put in words, right?
It's very difficult to explain because it's the same person that's there. It's the same body.
It's the same body, right?
The personality is just completely changed.
That's how it works.
This one was a woman, and it was a male attached who he was an addict in every way, and I got him to go to the light, and when he came back, he was afraid to go to the light. He was afraid of being judged, afraid of going to hell. Mm-hmm. I got him to go there under the promise that when he came back, I promised him a beer. When he came back, he was so humble. That made me so grateful to be able to help him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is not something where we banish the spirit. We help the spirit. We help the soul.
Right. This is not an exorcism. We don't do that. We don't
it's so full of respect. It's so full of respect for the person that lost his body in a traumatic way, or did not figure out that he actually had to go to the light instead of attached to someone, because they don't know better. They really don't know better. They're just taking care of themselves.
I see. Okay. Good. Awesome experience. I'm telling you. Awesome. I still remember when I trained with Aurelio. He was not teaching. I was shadowing, and yes, as I was shadowing, there were experiences showing up in those sessions. But I still remember when I got my first session with spirit attachment, and that's actually, if I'm not mistaken, session number 1 in my channel. Think of every challenge you can have in one session. Now put all those challenges together in one session. That's a session, right? Session number 1 in my channel. So, okay, good. Thank you, team. Anybody else about you, Shahira?
Well, I know dealing with attachment might sound like weird sometimes and a bit scary, because they will use all the tools to scare us. They don't want to go anywhere. So in one of my sessions, we encountered a slave in the throat that was put there by one of the fallen angels. And when we connected to the fallen angel, we got the whole scene, we got the whole movie of like, I'm a fallen angel, I'm just gonna eat you all, I'm gonna control the world. And it was like the
special
whole
effects,
like,
right? Special effects,
yeah,
right?
the whole special effect, that like the whole package. Okay. And like I'm thinking, like, don't go all ghost on me. Don't do that. You know you're gonna be out of here, so you scare me as much as you want, and you just do all the funny noises and all the funny voices, and you're gonna be out of here in a second. So, and we got him. Actually, we didn't get him to go through the light. We got all our guys to come in and help and assure this entity there is no judgment. This is a word of no judgment, and this is out of love and compassion, and there is no punishment. So when he was ready, he was leaving there, and he was actually very concerned about my client. Is she going to be okay? Did I do a lot of hurt to her? Can I help her back? Can I do anything to her? And it was like, we help the client and we help this dark energy not to go to the light, to be light itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because we're all light. I mean, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
And this is like my first attachment was like, that was I think that was one of the attachment that we encountered that was very, very like all the special effect kind of thing.
Yeah.
And most of them are like that. Some of them are nice and just want to go, but some of them are like, okay, we're gonna give you the whole package.
Right. So people can understand what we're referring to when we say special effects. Is in introspective hypnosis, we treat spirit with spirit attachments, right? With respect, love, affection. We help them. Why are you attached? Why do you get lost? You know, what happened with you? And why are you causing these symptoms on this client? So we get the whole story, but not all of them want to collaborate, at least not initially. And since they don't want to deal with you, they might insult you, spit at you, growl, and do all kind of things. What I call, as Aurelio, my teacher, would say, special effects, right? So it is not to pay attention to that. Never be afraid. Nothing is going to happen, and we help them, right? So that's what you did. That's what Tim did. Nothing happens, you know. So if you ever jumped into a session with fear, don't do that. There's no need to fear anything. Number one, nothing's going to happen to you. Number two, you guys don't work by yourself. We have at least our guides. Nothing's going to happen. I facilitate these sessions out of my home office, and I have a happy life, happy marriage, and nothing going on in my house. My dogs would see energies, right? They don't see anything. You know, they don't bark at the ceiling. I don't know. It's all good. So thank you, Shahira. Anybody else before I go to the next question? No. Okay, next question. Tell us about a client calling you back saying, after the session, this is what I experienced. After the session, this is what I experienced. Like positive feedback that you get from the client saying, when I came to see you, I was experiencing this, now it's gone. Something like that. Pamela, yeah. Oh, you need to unmute your microphone. Oh, hold on. Okay, ready.
Okay, right, thanks. I had one that had a forgiveness experience with her mother, and then shortly after was going to visit her relatives. And she called me when she came back and said that she was able to connect with her mother for the first time in her whole life, and that it had really changed their relationship. And that just was mind-blowing to me, and it just really excited me that, you know, she had such a healing and, you know, changed her family dynamics.
Okay.
And she was even saying that she, you know, wants to, she has I guess a psychologist or something like that, that her psychologist wants to refer people.
Okay.
So I was like, whoa, great.
Excellent. As we navigate memories and work on forgiveness, beautiful things take place. You know, people heal themselves amazingly. Good. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Pamela. Tim, you have something else?
Yeah, I kind of do it the other way around, where I always, the day after the session, I text my client to see, okay, are you okay? Is everything as it's supposed to be? And I always get feedback. Oh yeah, my arm is much better, and oh, I feel more calm inside. Or yeah, that's the main thing. They always feel more calm. Yes. After the session, and yeah, the time after, they feel more calm. Yeah.
And what happens is that some people don't call you, some people don't email you, because they assume you know that healing is going to take place for them. Is that when you go to, stupid example, right? You go to the doctor because you have the flu. The doctor prescribes to you a couple of pills to take this, X amount of times during the day, during 3-4 days, and that's it. You don't call your doctor saying, oh, by the way, I don't have the flu anymore. I feel great, right? You assume the doctor knows. I guess that kind of thing happens. Sometimes we get to hear from other people when they refer others to us. Oh, I'm coming because my friend had a session with you 6, 7, 8 months ago, and she doesn't have this problem, whatever. But didn't your friend let us know? Because it's always good to hear from our clients. So good. Anybody else? Got any feedback, any email from clients telling them, yes, Shahira? Mm-hmm.
Well, it's very few sessions that I haven't had feedbacks actually. It's always positive, but I think the most significant one was one of my friends who has a lot of anger. And it was in one of my early sessions that I did after the course. And she didn't even realize that she had anger. Like, she came with a set of questions, but I put a note on the side that anger, because it was so part of her that she couldn't even realize it.
They
She
don't see
has
what's going
anger.
on.
They don't see what's going on.
Yeah.
And she had anger against all male figures, which was very, very weird, considering her life has been very beautiful. And she had very positive male experience in her life. And when we went into a past life, of course, we saw rape, enslavement, a lot of, things like that, and a lot of carried anger. So, and it was a very intense session. And this, a person that has been going through hypnotherapy for 3 years. And she told me that it has never been that intense. So I hear back a lot from her. She is like, her anger decreased by like 95%.
Great.
She's still learning to manage, because it's been so ingrained, it's been a lifestyle. But even she was here like a week ago, and she told me, oh, my relative saw me the other day and they haven't seen me in a year, and they told me, oh, you are less angry. What happened?
Okay.
So, and it was so amazing to hear this, such, a very intense feedback.
That's great. Yeah, because we experienced what you saw was a symptom, right? And that is in the subconscious mind, and actually the origin was in a past life. That's what happens a lot of the times during our sessions, right? Good. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Shahira. So then, just a final question for any of you. What would you say to people even thinking about learning introspective hypnosis? What would you say? What would you recommend to them to do first, to do afterward, or to stop, to think, whatever? Alice.
Just do it.
Don't think too much.
Yeah, if you're thinking about it, just go ahead and do it. It's a sign you should be doing it.
Right, because people say, do I need a special gift? Do you think I can do this? Do you need any requisite, any knowledge to take this class? What would you say?
No, anybody can do it off the street. You've just got to have like your soul is in the right place to do it, to help people. That's all you need to have, really.
That's it. We're not pretending to be doctors or psychiatrists or psychologists. We're not doing that. They don't do what we do, and we don't do what they do. It's different.
Yeah.
It's more spiritual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Alice. Thank you. Tim.
And don't let all of the spiritual talk put you off. If you feel drawn to this, you're drawn to it for a reason. And don't be afraid of us talking about entities and all of that stuff, because you'll learn. That is what you're here for. That is why you take the course. It's not for you. You don't need to be able to do it right away. You will be presented with the clients that fit you.
You will never send a client. You will keep this in mind. You will never send or a client you will never get a client that you cannot handle. Clients that will be sent to you are being sent to you by their guides, because that guide knows, and your guide knows that
you talked about you were being told that we were kind of beacons. That's also something that I've got, that we are beacons, and guides on the other side. Now we are in the spiritual talk again, but the guides on the other side will communicate, and they will figure out what clients to send to us, what
Right.
clients that are the perfect fit for us.
Right. So in a book I'm writing a book about my experience, my journey, in some cases. I'm talking about that, about clients being sent to us, right? So people will say, how come? How is that possible? In one of my sessions that was over Skype back then, this lady went into a trance, and almost at the end of the session, the grandmother showed up. The spirit of the grandmother showed up as one of her guides, right? And started telling me, I am the one that sent her to you. And then I always want to learn stuff. Right? It's like, what do you mean? How do you find me? So you guys that do this have kind of a channel open that only, she said this, advanced spirits can detect. And that's how we find you, right? It seems that that's how, I don't know, we have some kind of, we're like beacons or whatever, and they send clients to us. It has happened to me many times where I was told, yeah, we send this person to you. So you will never receive a client that you cannot handle. And that goes for Rose, because sometimes, like when you call me, I don't know what to do. Yeah, don't be afraid. That person is being sent to you for a reason. That means that you can do it. Good. Thank you. And Zinga.
I would just like to say that if there's anyone out there who is contemplating, or even on the very edge of contemplating taking an introspective hypnosis class, to go ahead and do it, because from the larger picture, knowing that we are infinite beings and that we are recycled over and over, many lives, over and over, to be a part of something larger than you are is phenomenal. It is just, it's an immense thing. And I love, and I thank you so much, Antonio, for what you do, because in the end, at the end of the day, the larger picture is that you are creating opportunities for individuals like us to assist humanity in raising the frequency. And in doing that, when we return, again, we return to a nicer, better, an environment where the collective consciousness is expanded, and we don't come back with as much drama. Our karma changes. We evolve. We become much more evolved beings, and we can shift.
Yeah, we
place that we want to be.
We ourselves change through those sessions. Through
Yes,
our
absolutely.
clients, we heal ourselves too.
Absolutely.
So I'm not the same person I started doing this years ago. These sessions changed me. They're changing you, changing everybody.
And I'm very grateful for this opportunity, because, you know, I would love to, and I am leaving my contributions behind by just assisting humanity, because everyone has a story. Everyone who comes to a session, everyone in life, period, has a story and experience that there is something within that story that needs to be healed, or traumas, or just through attachment, identifications, labels, everything that hinder us from really living our true expanded potential, which is unlimited. We are limited. You're not limited to anything. We are infinite. So I'm just very grateful for you, and for you
Thank you.
being able to be that gateway, that very leading edge of just change in humanity. So thank you for that. And thank you too, Lightworkers, you know, for contributing as well.
Thank you, Zinga. Yeah, so yes, we'll help in. We came here to experience limitations. I mean, being in this kind of body is a limitation. And we came here to experience the illusion of separation when we're all one, right? And those two experiences, limitation and separation, causes a lot of problems on us as spirits. So the idea is to help us, understand that there's no limits, that we can do anything, and that we're all one, right? That is the idea. Thank you, Zinga. Before going again to Shahira, Tim, you raised your hand. You wanted to say something, add something?
Yeah, even though you don't know if you want to practice, still take the course. Like Nzinga said, we get so much knowledge just from the course about ourselves and about how things work. That this can be a way for you to actually start evolving yourself. Not even if you are not interested in practicing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And I'm going to add something to that before going to Shahira. And I'm going to be talking about the live classes, right? So when I created the class, when I designed the class, and I decided to put everything in steps, and then with Alba we decided on the exercises to do. What we never envision is that as you were learning the technique in the live class and doing these exercises in pairs or in groups, everybody was being healed. They were healing themselves. So as they were navigating memories, you could see people in tears and clearing stuff and removing unforgiveness, working on forgiveness. By day 5 was ecstasy. Everybody was clear. Everybody was so happy of all the things that took place during the class because you're learning the techniques, but you will practice them in class. In the live class, you get to practice that in pairs and in groups. And Zinga, you had a session, right? In the group, I mean, we put them in groups, and that way you get you have a chance to do the induction. Somebody does the interview, they ask questions during the regression. But in Zynga was the subject, so you went into a trance and you experienced a lot of things. Same thing happened to Shahira, right? And Shahira even started channeling and giving advice to a lot of people that she didn't know. She gave me advice. She said, well, yeah, I would say, yeah, she could know me from videos, but she was saying things about me that she didn't know. And she was giving advice to people because she was in that state. She was in a trance and she was channeling another being and she was giving advice, even to the guys that work at the hotel, right? It was amazing. Yeah, you wanted to, go ahead. Yeah, I don't want to say more about that, but even that guy, even Jose, right?
Yeah, I had no idea who you were guys bringing, but I felt there was a crowd around me. And I was in this state that, wisdom came through me. It's not like I was giving them, but it just,
right.
I was acting as a clear channel for people. Then they can ask questions and I would answer. And I think being in sessions for 5 days, that was the reason why I was in this state, because we work on our sad memories, we work on ourselves, we work on our past lives, and then you get your grand finale.
Yeah, and it was
so yeah, so if you want to go ahead and take the session and you don't want to practice, go ahead and do it for yourself.
You can apply this to your everyday life, and if you don't want to do hypnosis or maybe even help a friend talking about it, you can still use it. There's always good use for this. It's great. I mean, when Aurelio came with this method after years and years, intuitively came to this method, and then I was able to make a couple of modifications here and there, but it's actually based on his technique. It was amazing. The things that we can accomplish is amazing. I'm really grateful for the experience, grateful for being able to share this technique, grateful for you guys because I have friends all over the world now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So we should hear it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to add something for people that would like to take the class, but they would think that the community that they live in is not ready for such teaching or for such technique. Don't judge because you never know. Like I came with the same perception that people in my community are very conservative and they will never understand this.
That's the reason why you took it. For
exactly. And I've been busy lately. I've been so busy since I got back, and I'm getting people from all belief system. I'm getting atheists, I'm getting religious, I'm getting Sufis, I'm getting spiritual, I'm getting everybody. And it's so amazing how people alter the session for themselves. Inside the session, they just work it out according to their belief system.
Right.
And they get the most out of it. So it just, belief system are just, a way of separation. Just don't worry about it. Just call for the good intention to help, and they will just show up. I haven't done any single announcement for my practice, and I've been working word of mouth, taking at least 3-4 sessions a week, and it's just word of mouth, all kind of people. So don't get that stop you. If you want to go ahead and take this session, don't think about, oh, are they gonna call me like a hypnotist, or they gonna what they gonna perceive that, and how they gonna think of it. Don't worry about that. Just go ahead and do it.
Just do it. Once you're ready, clients will start being, I mean, these people will start being sent to you. That's it. Simple. It's glad to hear that, because I mentioned that during class, and now after a few months of you practicing, you were able to confirm that, right? It's good. So guys, thank you very much for taking the time. I know it's been a long time, and it's a Sunday, by the way. Today is Sunday, it's July 7th, right? It's a Sunday. You guys are taking time for this, so I appreciate that. Before we say goodbye, and maybe just one more minute, very simple. Does anybody of you want to say anything else before we say goodbye? Good. We're good then. Awesome. So, again, thank you very much. I'm going to stop this recording. If you guys want to learn more about introspective hypnosis, go to antoniosangio.com. Sangio is SANGIO.com, or introspectivehypnosis.com. Takes you to the same website. You guys want to find you. Rose, what is the best way to find you? I know you have your email there. You have your email on the screen. People can email you there for sessions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And okay, Colleen, what is the best way to get in contact with you?
On Facebook, Sacred Attunements with Colleen.
Sacred Attunements.
That's my company, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alice, how can they find you?
Quantum Healers, all my emails address and my website and everything's on that.
Right. So Quantum Healers under Introspective Hypnosis, you're listed there.
Yeah.
Okay, quantumhealers.com. Nzinga.
Facebook is probably the best avenue for me. It's Nzinga Stovall on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Nzinga is there, is spelled there so they can find your name?
It's Nzinga.
Yeah. Is there on the screen? And it's not that common, so it's going to be easy to find you. Right? Awesome. Perfect. And Shahira.
Yeah, I'm in
what languages? English?
In English and in Arabic.
Arabic. Okay, good.
Yes.
And Rose is English and Turkish, right? So how can they find you, Shahira?
I'm available on Facebook, Shira Galal, SHERAGALAL, and the same name on Gmail.
Gmail, okay, good. Awesome. Are you in Quantum Healers? No.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, good. You're busy now. Okay, good. Thank you, Shahira. I call you Shahira, but your nickname is Shira, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tin, how can they find you?
For now, through Facebook, Tina Mari. I have a page there, and they can contact me through there.
Okay.
And I'm starting up on Quantum Healers as well.
Okay, quantumhealers.com. And Tina Mari is Tine, and then Mary is
MARI.
So that's how they can find you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Tim. Pamela, how can they find you?
You can find me on pamridgeway.com, and I'll be on Quantum Healers as well.
Quantum Healers as well. Okay, good. So you guys want to have a session with them? You already know. All of them have been practicing, and this is just a few of the people that were able to make it today. I didn't want to have more than 10, so I just got a few volunteers, which is the enough amount of volunteers I needed for today. As I said, my idea was to get the idea of what they experienced during the class and after the class, right? So in the future, if somebody asks me about, Antonio, what am I supposed to expect after the class? Am I going to get the right materials or knowledge or practice or volunteers or blah, blah, blah? Here's the video. And I appreciate that. So I'm going to stop the recording. Please don't go yet. I'm going to say just bye for this recording, and I'll stay with you one more minute, okay? One moment, please.